back on the Week 3 edition of the Princeton Football podcast as we welcome in a junior wide receiver from Rochester, New York. Jackson Green, a two-sport athlete at Princeton, fresh off his first career touchdown catch, which sealed a big victory on the road to get you guys in the win column. Jackson, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Career day 5 catches, including the touchdown that sealed that 10-point victory. Walk us through that touchdown catch.
It was a euphoric feeling. It was a 4th down, I believe, 4th and 3. Needed it to kind of seal the deal, hopefully with like 5 minutes left to go in the game. It was a play that we've been practicing for a while, and for like all 3 years that I've been here, I've been running that route for a while. And honestly, before that, it was definitely not my best route in the arsenal, but ended up running a pretty good route, ended up sealing the deal. But I think the best part about that play was my teammates celebrating with me. Jalen Gear, senior wide receiver, jumping up, kind of little broing me up in the air, jumping like a foot taller than me. Kai Cologne, who obviously I've been getting work in, day out. And Aiden Besselman, Roman Lario, Shad, Charlie Rossi on the sidelines, like being held back by all the strength coaches, not getting on the field. So, it was a euphoric feeling. Just grateful to have it.
You named about half the receiver room, and that's kind of been a storyline this year, the fact that you lost a lot of seniors, so a lot of depth and a lot of talent, but a lot of guys that haven't had a chance to show what they can do in a game. 10 different players caught a pass last week, 10 different players caught a pass this week. What's the dynamic like in that wide receiver room?
Everyone, no matter who's making the play, everyone's happy for each other. We all know what we have. We all know that anyone can make a play on any given day, any given drive. So everyone knows what everyone can do. We've been putting in the work for three years, sitting behind the guys that you mentioned that graduated. So, it's just great to finally have that opportunity. And, yeah.
You mentioned that touchdown. You said not the smoothest route you ran, and that's an area where your coaching staff has really complimented your game. A really good route runner, is that something that's always come natural, or have you had to work at that?
I think it's come natural. I think it just goes back to me playing multiple sports as a kid. I feel like they all sort of complement each other. Obviously I've put in a lot more work now that I've gotten to the collegiate level at football for focusing on my route running. But, before that it was kind of just like footwork in basketball, footwork in lacrosse. That sort of complemented that in football. But I think it's improved a lot more since I've gotten here.
In high school, football, basketball, lacrosse, but which sport did you take up first?
First, I think I started lacrosse at like 4 years old.
That's sort of what you do where you come from?
Yeah, for sure. So I started off in Pennsylvania, and like everyone around me was playing lacrosse. Then I moved to upstate New York. Obviously, it's a whole nother level up there. But yeah, I started that. I played till like 8th grade, played travel, did the whole thing year round. Got a little burnt out from it. Switched to really focusing on basketball primarily, doing the whole travel AAU thing. And football I really took up like junior year of high school. Became more seriously for me.
How critical, you just hinted at it, how important was it for your development that you didn't just focus on one sport?
I think it's very crucial. I think, especially right now, I think a lot of kids are doing like the one sport thing, where they're focusing on it year round. And I think just having, all the sports, they sort of complement each other. They're sort of giving you that like competitive drive in different sports and different aspects. Like the footwork, it's so complementary. Like just movement in general, like spatial awareness.
3 sports in high school. When did you realize playing multiple sports at the college level was an option?
Honestly, I didn't know it was an option until after our football season here at Princeton in the fall. I didn't know.
That was your freshman year?
Yeah, freshman year. I didn't know. To be honest, I was really only focusing on football primarily. And I didn't know it was an option until some of the lacrosse guys like Colin Burns came up to me one night out at Cannon Dial and started talking to me about it, started getting in my ear a little bit about it. I didn't really know it was an option until.
And then where did the process go from there, right? So Colin Burns kind of tries to recruit you. You got through your first football season. You're trying to crack the rotation. How did you end up hooking on with lacrosse and getting in touch with Matt Madelon?
So I got in touch with Coach Hirsch, the defensive coordinator, like I think right after the football season. I floated the idea over to Surace, obviously, first, because I wanted to clear it with him. We took some time to think about it over winter break. We had a phone call in like the middle of winter break, and it became official then. I came early for lacrosse in January and kind of, meshed with the team pretty naturally, so it just worked out like that.
How does that work out? Because obviously you're playing two sports, so you're not with the football team in the spring, you're not with the lacrosse team in the fall. How do you coordinate that? How closely do you have to work with the coaching staffs?
Pretty closely. So in the spring, I'll meet with Flynn like once or twice a week, just for meetings in case like there's some new plays in the playbook and just to catch up with him. So I'm not going the entire spring without talking to any of the coaches. And then in the fall, I obviously talk to all the guys, whatever season I'm in, football, lacrosse. But with the coaches, they kind of let me do my own thing, kind of focus on whatever season I'm in, which I think is great because I really want to stay present and focused.
Heading into football season this year, knowing that you had a real chance to get into that receiver rotation and play some significant snaps, what's your focus been on through camp heading into the season?
Obviously, I think I started like behind because I wasn't there in the spring. So I think just, trying to control the controllables, getting close with the team no matter what happens. And I think it shows our chemistry, our culture has definitely improved from last year to this year. And I just think it makes it a lot more fun, when you're playing for each other rather than playing for yourself,
On the lacrosse field, 4 goals last year, defensive midfielder. Having another guy at that position, Cooper Miller, who's a two-sport athlete, right? Defensive midfielder on the lacrosse team, walked onto the basketball team. Obviously, his dad, one of the best to ever play basketball here at Princeton. Are you guys able to bounce things off each other? Is it helpful having someone else that plays your position that's also going through a lot of the same things?
Yeah, totally. Definitely having someone to relate to makes it a lot easier to get through it. Cooper's obviously a great guy, stand-up guy, one of the funniest guys I know. And it's cool to see how he balances it while also, being extraordinary at lacrosse and basketball.
We mentioned the 3 sports you played in high school. Is there a sport you're not good at?
Yeah, I think my golf game needs a little improvement. I played a lot of golf this summer, walking a lot of 18. Some of my friends work at some golf courses, so we get on late nights on Mondays. Definitely need some improvement. Definitely a little inconsistent there.
Let's take golf out of the equation, the 3 that you've played out of the equation. If there was another sport that you had to pick up on campus, what would you love to try?
I would love to try golf. I don't know.
But let's take golf out of the equation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think probably baseball.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have told me I could play center field. I don't know if
I could see it.
Yeah, I think I could, locate the balls pretty easily, but I don't know if I'm going to be good at bat. I don't know if my average is going to be pretty good.
Your sister Lexi,
Yeah.
basketball at Cornell, graduated last year.
Yes.
When she played Princeton, were you wearing Princeton gear? Were you wearing Cornell gear? Were you just kind of trying to blend in?
Super controversial. So whenever I'd either go to Cornell, I would be wearing Cornell merch, obviously. But when she would come here to play, I would be here for lacrosse, and I would always have to come straight from practice in all my Princeton gear. And she would see me in the stands wearing my Princeton gear and just give me this stink eye. Like, it's the worst. But yeah, I think she's been doing great. She's having she's gonna have a great life after college. So.
How did you land on political science?
I kind of grew up around politics. All my family's been in politics. I love paying attention to current events, especially with how relevant it is today. So yeah, there's some great people in politics too that I got to meet.
Hopefully a lot of your best moments and memories at Princeton are in front of you, but is there a moment, either football or lacrosse, that really stands out?
I think right now, obviously, that touchdown that I scored last weekend is going to be a standout for the rest of my life. I think this past spring when we were down in Carolina, and we played Duke, and I had that one goal. Obviously, it was a bit of a revenge game. They kind it killed us last
Is that
year.
the one? So I know that the Penn State one was like coast to coast on the outlet. Was Duke where you essentially just like dropped the shoulder and ran through a couple guys?
Yeah. That was definitely a pretty hype moment. Blacked out a little bit after that, but it was great. I got to celebrate with my teammates. It was a revenge game for us. That whole trip was a revenge tour. So.
Well, like I said, hopefully a lot of your best memories are still to come, but congratulations on the win. Congratulations on your first career touchdown, and good luck this weekend against Columbia, Ivy opener.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.